Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. You're about to watch my first run-through of Act 5, Chapter 2, Quest 5. Now, I was a little nervous about Bane because I know I have trouble fighting and paying attention to buffs and combo counts and all of that stuff. I tend to get distracted and then I get hit. And that's exactly what happened several times during this quest. I was watching the Bane countdown instead of my opponent. But overall, this was a fairly easy one. I ended up using 6 revives total, and most of those were on Groot, because as you saw, I foolishly went in with a mutant crit team. I was thinking that Wolverine and Archangel would be all I needed. They were my only rank 5s, and all the rest were rank 3. I was also running suicides, which helped speed up the fights, but I knew it would mean increased item use, which was fine. I had 11 level 1 revives just rotting in my stash, and besides, Wolverine's regen, I knew it would save me some health potions, and because of his regen, I knew he'd also help me out when I inevitably screwed up a little on the timing of Bane. So, for the first few fights, you'll notice that I didn't even bother to heal up. Since I had those revives, my thoughts were just to go as far as I could without healing. You know, a little personal challenge to myself. So hopefully you enjoy the video and find it informative. I leave all of my mistakes and blunders in so that they may at least help you know what not to do. So remember I told you that I sometimes get hit while I get distracted trying to look at buffs and combos and things like that? Well, watch in this fight. When I get hit, look at the Bane counter, because I assure you, that's what I was doing. So the next fight is Iron Fist, and I've never had any trouble fighting Iron Fist, but this time we're dealing with Bane as well, so I was a little nervous going into the fight, but Archangel, he can handle it. Now this next fight was against Archangel, and I was very nervous about this fight because I suck at fighting Archangel. I don't know what it is, whether it's his wings, hitbox, or whatever, but I usually end up making some mistake with him, missing mistiming something. I don't seem to always get my parries off with him. Don't know what it is. But I didn't do too badly in this fight. Next up is Captain America. Now, my concern here was that he would fight very defensively and I'd have a hard time transferring Bane. So I wanted to get my neurotoxin on him as quick as possible. I wasn't worried about his fatigue or anything like that because it wasn't going to stop Archangel from ripping him apart. Ah, Black Panther Civil War, my old nemesis. This guy used to wreck me regularly until I learned how to fight him, and you'll notice that his reflective stun did not bother me. Now, what I was concerned with, as you know, Archangel does have a chance to stun the opponent, and I was praying that I did not get an unlucky stun against Black Panther Civil War. But all in all, we did okay. One thing that I really need to learn to do better is to dodge his L1. For some reason, I'm always trying to dodge his L1 and I get caught just like that with that second part of it. So when I saw this ambush, I'm thinking, you know, my rank 3s will be good for something. So I'm speeding this up because all I did was throw my rank 3s at him until I got him down. So Magneto is my last rank 3 left alive. And I know I'm not going to revive any of them. So I basically just finish off Spider-Man here with him. I throw him into the next fight as well and just keep fighting with him until he goes down. I should have done better against him, but again, distracted by that Bane counter. When I do get hit, just look at the Bane counter and you'll notice all throughout the fights when I'm getting hit that Bane counter is usually just about to expire, and I'll either be panicking and trying to rush to get that transfer going off, or I'll just be looking at it and get hit. Now, one reason that I did better with Wolverine is that I relied on his regen to save me in case the Bane got on me for just a little bit. So the result of that is that I was more relaxed playing with Wolverine. I didn't worry so much about the Bane counter. I just sort of, would look up there every once in a while. But other than that, I just played normally, knowing that if I did get the Bane on me a little bit, his regen was enough to compensate. So at this point, the sound got corrupted. I'm not sure what happens. This has happened before, and I'm just happy that the video remained intact. So what I ended up having to do in the editor is strip out the audio completely. Otherwise, the video wasn't even playing. And I don't know, it's the iOS 11 built-in recorder that I've been using for these run-throughs here. And for some reason, if it gets to be a little bit too long, or maybe if the phone gets too hot or something like that, I don't know why, the sound will get corrupted. So here is my punishment for choosing the team that I did. If I had to do it over again, I would at least bring in Dr. Voodoo for Groot, or even Loki, something. There is the role reversal boost, but it didn't seem to bother me as much as it did in the previous quest that we did. But pretty much all I do is wear him down. I keep reviving my Wolverine. One time I heal up Archangel and let him have a go at it, but then I go back to Wolverine and finish Groot off, and then continue on fighting with Wolverine. One thing that should be obvious in these fights is that I need a lot more practice with Bane, but I did manage to get through it. Like I said, I wasn't really too concerned about the revives. Even after all of this was completed, I still have quite a few level 1 revives in my stash. I also have over 600 of those free crystals, so I can open those up if I need more health potions and revives, but I wanted to save those for the next quest when I have to face the collector. So you can see me scouting out the paths here. I did not want to have a repeat of what happened when I chose the path with Hyperion in one of the previous quests. I didn't want to fight any unnecessary fights here. So I chose that path and went in after Hood, and you'll see I did not heal up my Wolverine. I haven't really healed him up in the previous fights either. And I didn't really have any trouble with Hood. He was throwing his specials just fine, and I did pretty decently with the Bane transfers and all of that. The one thing I really did not want to do is accidentally push him to his L2. So I tried to bait regularly, but that heavy made it pretty easy to get the Bane transfer off. So we're finally at the boss, and I have looked on YouTube and I've seen some folks fighting him. So I went in pretty confident that I was gonna, rip him a new one with Wolverine. As you see, I didn't heal up, and I noticed my health going down pretty quickly. And I knew I had transferred the Bane. So now at this point I'm going, okay, what in the world just happened? How did I get wrecked like that? So I take a look at the boosts that are on this node, and I scroll down and I notice one, Spectre. That Spectre is what wrecked me. I have suicides on, so I have max willpower, I have the recovery and all of that good stuff as well. So what I did was I wanted to do a test. So I revived Archangel and went back in and watched, and sure enough, I get wrecked again. So at this point I stop the recording, redo my masteries to get rid of the suicides, and then I go back in after the boss. As you can hear, the sound came back because I started a new recording for the boss fight. Also notice that you do not see any healing on Archangel. That's because I did not take any of the healing masteries. No salve, no recovery, no willpower. And the neurotoxin definitely worked well against this boss and his Arc Overload 2.0. And as you can see, Archangel had no problem taking down that boss. So that's going to do it, guys. That is Act 5, Chapter 2, Quest 5. If you liked the video, please consider giving me a like. If you have not subscribed already, please consider giving me a subscription. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the video. And you guys have a blessed day.